I'm from Indiana and I'm a Red Sox fan. He's from Minnesota. He's a Yankees fan. And welcome to the rivalry out of state. Baseball is back, so the free agency frenzy is bound to continue. So we're going to do some free agency predictions. We're going to predict the top pitchers and hitters and where we think they're going to end up when the dust settles on opening day. Andrew, let's get after it. You ready to go?
Let's run it.
Darn right. We're going to start with the hitters first. And the first hitter that we're going to go over is Kris Bryant. The 2015 National League MVP has rejuvenated his career. And after a really, really good year with the Cubs and Giants, he is now a free agent. So, Andrew, we'll start with you. Where do you think Kris Bryant will end up?
Sorry, Cubs fans. I don't think there's a homecoming bound to happen. I think he's going to sign with the Seattle Mariners. So, the Seattle Mariners, after barely missing the playoffs, they want to play this year. They want to contend.
Oh, yeah.
So, I think this is a perfect fit, especially because Kyle Seager retired. That leaves a hole open at third base for the Mariners. And I think Kris Bryant would be a great fit in Seattle.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think he's going to sign with Seattle Mariners as well. You mentioned Kyle Seager's retirement that opens up the hole at third. The Mariners are a team that wants to win and wants to win now. They went out and got the AL Cy Young winner and Robbie Ray, gave him a fat contract. So now they're going to get their hitter to go right along with him. And Kris Bryant's versatility is also a plus. He can play the outfield. He can play first base. He can play all around the diamond when you need him to. So Kris Bryant, we both think he'll be a Seattle Mariner on opening day. The next guy we're going to get into is Nick Castellanos. There is a long drive into left field. And after a good year with the Cincinnati Reds, where will Nick Castellanos end up?
So I got him going to the San Francisco Giants.
Ooh.
So I think the Giants could use another solid hitter. Nick Castellanos definitely fits that description.
For sure. For sure.
He plays both outfield and third base, and he could fill in
Okay,
for third
fine. I
base.
didn't realize that he played a little bit of third. I thought you were thinking about
Hey,
Eugenio Suarez when you said a Reds third baseman.
okay,
Okay, fine.
okay. But
Fine.
hey, my point is
Fine.
Evan Longoria is the current third baseman. He's old, and with the universal DH rule being a thing, I could see him becoming the Giants' DH potentially. So I just think the Giants would be a good fit for Castellanos. It would be a good fit for the Giants in general if they want to defend their NLS title.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants is not a bad pick. I'm going to have to disagree with you, though. So there were links to Nick Castellanos to the Miami Marlins before the lockout ended. And I think that's going to come to fruition. Nick Castellanos will be a Miami Marlin on opening day. The Marlins need a star. They need a bona fide superstar, a slugger that, the community of Miami can latch onto. I was just down there. Nick Castellanos would be a great, great fit for the city of Miami. I think he will be a Marlin. So the next guy that we're going to get into is the big bopper, arguably the biggest free agent on the market right now and one of the most hyped, shortstop Carlos Correa, the longtime villain of the 2017 Astros team as a free agent, and he needs a new home. Andrew, where is he going?
I am going to say the Toronto Blue Jays. So he might follow George Springer's route. He joined free agency a few years back, signed with the Blue Jays, been pretty good with them. I could see Carlos Correa doing the
Okay.
exact same thing.
Okay.
They lost Marcus Semien. He's now a part of the Texas Rangers, and the Blue Jays could just pick up another solid bat because they are going to
It could.
compete for the AL East this year, and they need to, considering the division that they're in.
Yeah, the AL East is definitely stacked. But before I give you my pick, let me give you this counterpoint for the Blue Jays. All right. The Blue Jays already have a shortstop who's young, who's electric, who can hit. His name is Bo Bichette, and I think he's pretty darn good. What do you do there? Do you shift Bichette over to second base, or because Marcus Semien played second base for the Toronto Blue Jays, not shortstop?
Yeah, I'm well aware of that. I think it's possible we could see a shift between the
Wow,
two
you just made
happening.
me look stupid. I'm well aware of that. Thank you very much. Now shut up and let me speak.
Hey, I think, with Bo Bichette still being young, I think there's plenty of time for him to adjust to second base. And the main reason I'm saying this, think of Alex Rodriguez. When he came to the Yankees, he couldn't play shortstop. Jeter was at shortstop. So what did he do? Played at third base, and it worked pretty well for him. So that's
That
why I'm
is
never
true.
ruling it out. I think it could
That is
still
true.
work that way.
Yeah. So I'm going to make my pick. I hate it. I don't like it. But the Chicago Cubs will find a way to throw way too much money at Carlos Correa, probably give him like a $400 million contract or something like that. And Carlos Correa will be wearing the pinstripes at the friendly confines at Wrigley Field next year. Do I like it? No. But do I think it's like that's what's going to happen? Yes. And let's be real, bad financial decisions. That's the Cubby way. Let's go. They spend money like it's paper. So I think the Cubs will end up with Carlos Correa on opening day. I don't like it, but I think it's what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's going to be quite lonely out there considering they just traded away all their stars last year.
It's the start of the rebuild for the Cubs. After that, we got 2020 National League MVP Freddie Freeman, who is a free agent. The longtime Atlanta Brave needs a new home. And where is he going?
So before I get my pick, I've just got to say, I'm quite shocked he didn't re-sign with the Braves. He's one of
That's
those
true.
guys.
That's true.
He's
I
been
thought he
through
was going to be a Brave for
all.
life.
He's been through the Braves when they were at their worst. He's been through it all. So I'm just surprised he's not trying to be a Brave for life. But that being said, he's going to the Yankees. Luke Voigt ate it.
Okay.
The Yankees need another lefty bat. Freddie Freeman fits that perfectly. He would be such a great addition to the Yankees.
Yeah, forget a shortstop. Forget Trevor Story. Forget Carlos Correa. Go get Freddie Freeman. That would be,
Of course.
yeah, because Freddie Freeman is not going to be cheap. So, but when you're New York and when you're the Yankees, you can afford to do that. But for me, I think Freddie Freeman will end up on the complete other side of the country to the West Coast wearing Dodger blue. And I think this makes a tad bit more sense because you don't have to straight up cut Luke Voigt or something like that. You just don't have like the Luke Voigt problem that the Dodgers will have with the universal DH. Now you can say move Max Muncy over to DH because Freddie Freeman is a fantastic glove over at first base. Or if you want, you can have Freddie Freeman DH. You know, that's a possibility too, because his bat is really awesome as well. So I'm not a huge fan of Freddie Freeman to, New York, but that's just me. And that's for, well, obvious reasons. This series is titled The Rivalry for a reason, but I think he'll end up in Dodger blue. But that's all we got for the hitters. Now we're going to move on to the arms. A lot of the best arms were signed before the lockout. We went over that in our pre-lockout free agency video where we got guys like Max Scherzer, Robbie Ray, Kevin Gausman, where they signed. So the best arm left on the market, in my opinion, is Carlos Rodón. He had an absolute dream season with the Chicago White Sox, and now in a contract here, he is going to go get a bag in free agency. Where is Rodón signing, Andrew?
Let's keep the evil empire rolling. He is also going to be a Yankee.
Disgusting.
Our starting rotation is inconsistent, to say the least. And signing a guy like Rodón, not only do we get a good lefty arm, we drastically improve our starting lineup. Having Cole at the 1 and Rodón at the 2 would be amazing for the Yankees. And I think
that's true. Now you can take Jordan Montgomery out of that starting rotation.
Hey, man, Monty's okay, but
what's Monty doing? Yeah. Would you rather have Monty or Rodón? I think
the answer is pretty clear.
Yeah. I think if I were in your shoes, I would be thinking the same way. But that's not how life works. So I don't want Carlos Rodón to be a Yankee. I think that's a lot more realistic than Freddie Freeman being a Yankee. But I think the Detroit Tigers are going to swing big on Carlos Rodón because before the lockout, they signed Eduardo Rodriguez. And Eduardo Rodriguez, let me tell you right now, is not a legit number 1. He is not your ace of your future. If you get Carlos Rodón, now he is a legit lefty. That is a legit ace. That would give him a solid 1-2 punch up top, Rodón and Eddie Rodriguez. And then you have the homegrown young back end of your rotation with Tarek Skubal, Casey Mize, and Matt Manning, who they have been grooming for a team like this. So Carlos Rodón, you get your high-end starter. I think it makes perfect sense to me that'll go to the Detroit Tigers. So
yeah, it's a fair point.
Mm-hmm.
It would definitely make White Sox fans upset just going to their division.
Imagine if Rodón
that would be pretty spicy.
Left the South Side to go to their rival in Detroit. Oof, that will get that rivalry real hot. So we'll go to the top reliever on the market in longtime Dodger closer Kenley Jansen. Where's he going?
I got him going to the Philadelphia Phillies. If I were in the Phillies front office, I would make the call right now.
Dave Dombrowski. He's probably on the phone as we speak.
Yeah. Who knows? But anyways,
Dave Dombrowski's a big spender.
Anyways, the Phillies, they're a confusing team. They always seem to have a good lineup, but despite all of that, they have always lacked a good bullpen. Never had good relievers. There's that iconic video of JT Realmuto sighing at that reliever that was coming out to pitch for the Phillies. Having a guy like Kenley Jansen is a good start for the Phillies to help improve their bullpen and help them win games in the late when it matters. So I think that's the perfect move for Kenley Jansen. Just sign over with Philadelphia.
You know, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair cop because Philadelphia, their closer situation has been all over the place, especially last year where you had guys like Hector Neris, Jose Alvarado, Archie Bradley, like at certain points getting saves. You had like 5 different guys where you didn't know who was going to be the closer. And it was a nightmare for people who played fantasy baseball where saves were like any, had any concept of value. So the Phillies definitely need a certified all-star caliber closer. And Kenley Jansen is that, but screw your evil empire. Let's build one of my own. Kenley Jansen will be a member of the Boston Red Sox. Chaim Bloom knows what he's doing. He's got a lot of value deals. Spending big isn't exactly his mantra, but I feel like he can find some value in Kenley. And that's where you don't need, I understand that we signed Matt Barnes to an extension. You can have him in the 7th where you now push Garrett Whitlock. Garrett Whitlock is a stud. Thank you for giving him to us. We appreciate it, Andrew. You can have Garrett Whitlock in the 8th, or you can potentially make him a starter, whatever you want to do there. And you got Kenley, the cutter closer that is just a madman out there. You get him in the 9th, and the Red Sox are set at the back end of the bullpen.
Well, who knows? Maybe if that happens, he'll follow Craig Kimbrell's route and just completely fall off a cliff.
Hey, don't you disrespect Craig Kimbrell. Craig Kimbrell's won a ring.
Yeah, I don't really care. Kenley's won with the Dodgers.
Fair enough. I'm just saying. Kimbrell got a ring in the Red Sox out of the deal. But now we'll go to longtime Dodger, one of the best pitchers of this generation, the lefty Clayton Kershaw. Where's Kersh going?
There really shouldn't be much discussion here. He's going to be a Dodger for life. I wonder why there wasn't a deal before the lockout. Because, I mean, it should be pretty obvious that I'd stay with the Dodgers. He's been there so many years, and I just can't imagine a scenario where he's pitching for another team.
Real weird. Seeing Clayton Kershaw in anything other than Dodger blue. That's why I'm going to agree with you. Kersh is going to be a Dodger. They're, like I said before, they're going to bring in Freddie Freeman. So that's why I think Clayton Kershaw is going to take more of a team-friendly deal. I mean, and besides, what's the other alternative for Clayton Kershaw? Going back home to the Texas Rangers, join their retirement home? Yeah, I think I'd much rather stay with the Dodgers, please. And thank you.
Yeah. Really should be much more to it. I get Walker Buehler starting to become more of an ace in a way.
But you can let Walker Buehler become the ace.
Kershaw stay on the Dodgers.
Yeah, and hey, if you run back, Buehler, Bauer, Urias is still really good, and then you get Kersh. Kersh can be your 4 and be the best 4 in Major League Baseball, and you're fine. So Kersh is going back to the Dodgers. He bleeds Dodger blue for sure. So now we're going to go on to our last pitcher, another one of the best pitchers of this generation, future Hall of Famer, Zack Greinke. Andrew, where's Greinke going?
Really had a tough time with this one, but I just came up with the Texas Rangers. You know what?
Oh, dear.
They spent money on Marcus Semien, Corey Seager. No one really saw it coming. So who's going to see it coming when they sign Zack Greinke too?
Very valid
It just
point.
seems like they might do it. It would be a Rangers thing to do considering how this offseason's been going. That's really all I got to say about that. The Rangers don't really have a solid rotation at all. And hey, maybe Greinke will be the start of how they can figure that out.
I mean, that's true. Greinke is 38 years old and he's reaching the end of his career, but he still has a lot of solid baseball left in him. He's been able to not cheat Father Time, but he's been able to use that to his advantage and still be an effective pitcher down the stretch. I mean, I don't think John Gray is going to be your long-term ace if you're the Texas Rangers. So why not Greinke for a little bit while like these young guys step up? But for me, I'm going to look elsewhere. And I think a team that actually makes a lot more sense, in my opinion, is the Toronto Blue Jays. And here's why. Because Greinke's 38 and because he's on the back end of his career, doesn't need a real big contract. He knows what he's doing. He's been around a lot of places. He's seen a lot of good baseball. And you got some young guys like Alek Manoah in the Blue Jays rotation that could be a potential stud. Hey, maybe Greinke can teach him a thing or two. And if you add Greinke to that starting rotation as the number 5, watch out. Toronto's going to be nasty. They signed Gausman already. They traded for Jose Barrios at the deadline last year. Hyunjin Ryu is still really, really good. Alek Manoah is really young, has a lot of potential. And then you add Greinke to that. Blue Jays are looking pretty good.
Yeah, that would be the most dangerous rotation out there. That's for sure.
Yeah. So those are the top free agents still left on the market. And those are our predictions, our free agency predictions. God, it feels so good that baseball is back and we get to predict these things. Full 162 game season, opening day right around the corner. It's April 7th. And we can't wait. We got a lot to cover over this summer and fall. We can't wait to bring it to you. But until next time, like and subscribe for more The Rivalry out of state content and some other stuff on Running the Table. We got other sports as well. So peace out.